Welcome. We're back. So bright. That should be better. I wasn't even gonna go live, but figured maybe I'll just do a short stream tonight. I'm just really tired, but yeah, gonna be a short stream. Probably not gonna be doing take requests. Just gonna be going over everything I usually do, and then maybe just reading the chat a little bit. Probably gonna be like half an hour. So I'll get to it in a second. What's up, KTF, Lindsay Glenn, Spac Invader, the Waffle Maker, Wyatt, Mr. 90210, the guy, Barasan. How's everybody doing? Hit that like button. We're gonna talk about Bitcoin, the market, the swings. Really not too much to talk about, honestly. I'm gonna talk about everything really quickly, and I'll probably get out of here shortly tonight. So quick to the point. Today was a rough day for the market yet again. Well, yesterday was good. Friday was not good. So kind of like red, green, red for the last 3 days. But yeah, I mean, it's in the title. Stocks went down. We gapped down in the morning. Then they went up. We had a nice little move in like the first half an hour of the day after the gap down. And then they just went down and down and down and down. So we're going to get to everything, starting off with Bitcoin. To me, it looks like it broke out of this falling wedge. Even if what happens if we move it like this and we connect the wick right over here, then it didn't break out yet. Or if we use this candle body, then it did, and it broke out, and it's kind of back testing. So it depends on how you chart it. Still just kind of back into this range between 55 and 60K. If I just kind of highlight this right here. So you can see that pretty clearly for Bitcoin. In terms of Ethereum, been outperforming Bitcoin recently. Broke out of the wedge we were talking about last night. Really, the next resistance is the previous all-time high, F4867. And I'd say support's around like 4,400 for Ethereum. So those are your two levels. Maybe even a little bit of support around 45.25-ish. So that's pretty simple. Ecomi up another 2%. Really good price action since this hammer candle we talked about on Sunday night. And I think there's some sort of announcement for Ecomi and VV maybe on the 3rd of December, if I'm remembering that correctly from what I saw. I don't know for sure though. Don't quote me on that. So yeah, in terms of the crypto swings, let's see how they're doing. Just gonna give an update on how they've kind of developed. Litecoin's up like 1% since the entry, not much of any movement. If you want to kind of see the technical breakdown of these, watch last night's stream. OMG is currently up about 6%. At one point, this swing was up 15%. This was alerted, all of them were alerted yesterday. Tezos at one point was up 16%. Now it's only up 4%. So definitely some pullbacks, but you did break out on Tezos and on OMG. Well, you got back above your 200 moving average. Finally on GRT, it's down about 5%. You know, it's okay for right now. I just want to see it hold this major support. It was able to hold for like 4 or 5 days. I mean, actually, no, it was like 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, it was like 2 weeks. So those are the crypto swings. In terms of the stock swings, Palantir's down 1% since entry yesterday. Still is classic bullish divergence. It's just going sideways. It's in the same exact place roughly that it was yesterday. Dropped a little bit, but it's just been in this little range between $20 and $21.50 for like the past week. We'll see which way it breaks. Hopefully it's to the upside. VLO unfortunately closed its first day under that 67.84 level, which was a resistance here and a support here. I would really like to see it reclaim it. Otherwise, the stop loss is just beneath. Still a chance for hidden bullish divergence, but not really developing yet. SOFI down 7%. Also had its lowest candle close since like the beginning of October. So just the overall market pulling these swings down for right now. It really does suck. Sorry I couldn't anticipate a new COVID variant, but yeah, hopefully all these just can reclaim it. I can't tell the future. I don't know if they will. Maybe they get stopped out, maybe they don't, but it's what we got for right now. And then Microvast was down like 1% today. It's still kind of the same exact for technical. So really not much of a change. You know, I wasn't going to go live tonight. I was tired. There's just not too much to talk about, but I guess a short stream is better than no stream. So really it's that simple. Even Fisker, which is not an ongoing swing, and already hit the targets, but it was down 3% today. Like a lot of these stocks, you know, they're down a few percent, but really not much of a technical change. Fisker is still kind of in this 4-hour channel it's been in. You still have nearly confirmed hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour for Fisker, which is nice. And it's developing on the daily, so that's good there. CLOV down 2%, first time ever closing under $5. We talked about the bearish engulfing candle last night on stream. I did put out a thread earlier today. I could reiterate what I said in that thread or just repeat what I said there. So I'm going to read you the thread I shared earlier on CLOV. I said it does disappoint me to see CLOV under $5. For everyone who's been asking me about it, start watching my streams. I've continued to cover it every single night. Also keep in mind, just because I cover it doesn't mean I'm always bullish, right? I'm looking at technicals. Technicals can't always be bullish. I'm bullish on it fundamentally long term, but that's not affecting the price short term, right? I've said since day one that I was trading in and out of CLOV, and I still do. That's just my system. I'm a short-term trader. But with CLOV, many people group me with some others, always calling for a squeeze. I say when the charts are bullish, bearish, or neutral, or when there's no signal at all, kind of like you have right now. I am bullish on CLOV long-term fundamentally. However, if you watch my streams, I've narrated day by day how the technicals were changing and how they can always be overridden by catalysts, such as the offering. As of right now, there's literally nothing on the chart for me to talk about. I'm waiting for new data. I'll keep covering it, just like Fisker, because many of my supporters care about it long-term, and so do I. Please remember, when it comes to charts, I'll be honest, always. I'm reading my own tweets, and I don't know, I feel like I tweet so dramatically. It's kind of funny. CLOV has dropped another 30% since my most recent swings stop loss hit on it. So many people will talk about gains, which I can when it comes to short-term calls we've traded, but not enough will talk about risk management. And for investors, cost averaging is always a thing, not financial advice. So that was the whole entire tweet thread about CLOV today. Just wanted to reiterate, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you just didn't see it. I don't know if you'd call this a bullish pin bar. It's honestly it's like kind of like your largest lower wick on a candle you've had since the gap down. Yeah, this is the largest rejection to the downside you've had during a session since the gap down on November 18th. So that's one thing to talk about. You are oversold. So you have a couple variables, but there's just still not much to talk about. One thing I am watching, I think I have a chart on really low time frames. There we go. So I was watching this earlier today. Didn't trade it or anything. I charted it. We had like a 15-minute downsloping channel with divergence. Led to a small move towards the end of the day. I don't know if it did anything after hours. Down like 0.5% after hours. So, that's really all I got. If you want levels, I mean, I'll just chart out some 1 hour levels really quickly. Those are your levels on the 1 hour. If you want levels, those are your levels on CLOV. It also does have 1 hour classic bullish divergence nearly confirmed. So you are getting a couple of variables starting to appear. You don't really have any patterns or harmonics, so you're just looking at a few things on candles and oscillators. That's really all you got working for you, but a couple bullish variables. But you have to keep in mind the overall market and all of that. So I'm gonna screenshot these lines if you want to. I'm gonna remove them because I forgot to put them on only the 1 hour chart, and I don't want to manually fix all of them. So if you want to go back and take a screenshot, go for it. I will, however, keep this 1 hour divergence charted on CLOV. So we'll see. That's really it for CLOV. And for the day trade recap, there was 3 different trades in premium today. I'm not going to talk about 2 of them because they haven't really played out in either direction as of right now. And I could talk about this one. I'll just talk about my thesis. So actually, there's like 2 minutes after the open. 9:33 a.m. So 3 minutes after the open today, I shared ARK calls with premium members. There were $108 calls for next Friday. And the price was somewhere around over here when I shared them. And literally, yeah, like went up. The ARK ETF went up like 1.5%. The calls went up 20% in like half an hour. It was pretty straightforward. There we go. Justin in the chat says got 14% on ARK, then escaped. Yeah, it was a very quick. I mean, these are 30-minute candles. If we go over to the 5-minute, you might be able to see a little bit better. So let's see where the open was today. Is it 30th? All this is today? Oh, I'm on the 5-minute. That's why. Okay. So I shared all somewhere around over here, and they went up to over here. Kind of was testing this little resistance at 108.80. I guess you could see it from these highs over here on the 5-minute, which was actually a gap down level. But yeah, just kind of retested some highs. So White circle is kind of where it topped out, and then green circle is where I trade. There's, you know, there's not much. It wasn't really too, it was honestly easier than I would have anticipated, but at the same time, after going up, like the calls went up like 20% like within half an hour, then it just, like the rest of the market just shot right down. So had to be quick on that one. In terms of my thesis behind that at the open, I was already had everything charted. But we even talked about this last night on the stream. We were talking about how you had, it was testing a breakout of this descending broadening wedge. You had a higher low double bottom after hitting the PCZ of a bullish shark in an inflection zone, and it was breaking out. That's why I shared the calls. I mean, it only led to a 20% move. I was honestly thinking that, you know, this is a pretty real breakout, go higher, and unfortunately just the market flushed. And then the second hour of the day, you printed a bearish engulfing candle on the ARK, and then it did run up to retest the supply line for the close, and a lot of things were up after hours. This might have been up after hours as well. Doesn't show it there. Why does it not show it on Google? It was up about a 30% after hours, so we'll see what it looks like tomorrow, but I'm still keeping a close eye on the ARK ETF. So we have that. I mean, I guess we just kind of kill two birds with one stone right there. Already talking about the ARK. One thing I would also watch on the 4-hour time frame is the potential for a little bit of a double bottom here on the ARK ETF. So your support you want to hold on the ARK is like 103.6 roughly. And if we go over to the daily, it's just kind of still with testing this little zone. I'm actually gonna extend this because it's finding support around that area. So just a little bit of an inflection zone right here. We'll see which way it breaks. And that's the ARK ETF. In terms of the other indices for the overall market, Nasdaq down 1.5% today. You're kind of creating mini channels. Like I can just chart this out for you. The bottom of your channel is like 15.45, all right, 15,449. You can see it on the right side scale. I don't want to, I always get confused talking about big numbers. I'm so bad at math. So you have a range from 15,460 to 15,850 for the last 4 days, 4 sessions. You can see 2 were green, and then 2 were red. So it's like green, red, just kind of range bound right now on the daily. Same thing on the 4-hour. And then 1 hour, it really did nothing after breaking out of that wedge. So yeah, that's really all I got for the ARK ETF in terms of the Russell 2000. Unfortunately, it closed under the first demand line. If you remember, I used to also have this demand line charted, and that's where it found its low of the day. So I just charted it now, I guess in hindsight, but if you go back to my streams a couple months ago, I used to have 2 different demand lines charted, one for these 4 lows and then one to connect these lows. And today I actually bounced off this demand line. So for the short term, this is probably more valid than the blue one. So I'm going to delete the blue one. Remember, you can redraw your lines when they make sense, right? If you have certain areas in which you're finding support at, a lot of people act like, oh, you can't redraw your lines. That's not how technical analysis works. If you find a more optimal way to view a chart, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to be a psychologist of a stock, okay? You're trying to visualize how traders are trading. You're trying to read the float. And if you have a way to read the float better, do what you got to do. Redraw those lines. You're not breaking the law, I promise you. Okay? So that's your Russell 2000. You zoom in here to see. No, you can't get hidden bullish divergence on the daily anymore. You are oversold on the daily though. I mean, I'm not going to count this, but you're pretty much oversold for the first time since March. Which I guess was, wait, where was that? Oh, this is March. Oh, COVID crash. Wow. I was thinking March of this year. So yeah, if we're not going to count this, I touched like 29.71. If we're not going to count that, the last time you were technically kind of oversold was COVID crash. So that's your Russell 2000 for the small cap traders. Hope that you can hold that demand line. And then finally, the S&P 500 was down 2% today. Unfortunately, it took out this low. Remember we talked about this? I think we talked about this last night on stream, where I said you just don't want to break under that low. Yesterday, wait. I'm so confused now. No. So this was Friday. Okay. So on Sunday night, I said you probably do not want to break under Friday's low. Yesterday, which was Monday, you gapped up, so you never even tested it, and then today you gapped down and you broke under last Friday's low. So that support level gave up and it went down to 455.56. I had 454 as like my main support level I was watching from this previous all-time high and this low over here. But if we go back over to the daily, you can kind of see that there was like 2 days where, kind of 3 days, October 26th, October 28th, and October 29th, where it kind of bounced off this level. It's not the strongest level by any means. I think a stronger level would be 454-ish from this candle low and from this candle high. Just so you can visually see what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this this purple level looks a little bit more clear to me, and then you still kind of have this blue level. So you can see those are two different little levels, and if both of those break, then you got a 3-day support roughly sitting at around 451, even a gap fill just below that, then you got 447. So those are your downside supports on the S&P 500 if you want to take a screenshot. In terms of resistance, I'd probably say yesterday's high. I mean, just kind of in that area. You can see this little 466.5 area was a couple of these candle lows roughly, and then it was pretty much yesterday's high. So I'm gonna keep that charted on my daily, and then I'm gonna make sure I have this charted on my daily. I'm sure we'll chart this as well. I don't want to overchart the levels, but whatever. Okay, that's pretty much the market. Apart from that, the volatility index still is just at the upper part of this range it's been in since April. The US 10-year bouncing up a little bit today. It's creating this new range as well between 1.4 and 1.7. Gold dropped a little bit. The dollar, bearish engulfing candle. We'll see what happens. So that's what's going on. Nothing too crazy. Make sure to hit that like button. I'm sorry if tonight's stream was boring, and it's also going to be very quick, but hopefully it's better than me not streaming at all. I think maybe we could agree on that. I don't know, but let's try and see if we can get to 30 likes. And I'm just gonna read the chat now. Got some tea, and let me look at the chat because I haven't really looked at it. Also, before I look at the chat, one thing I do want to say: looking at Twitter, looking in the Discord today, just looking around, a lot of frustration, and I get it. You know, a lot of different stocks are dropping. And when you look at the S&P, it's not horrible. I mean, you were down 2% just today alone. And then since the all-time high, you're down about 4%. It's not horrible when you look at the S&P. However, I don't think a lot of people are talking about this. You had a correction in small caps, an official correction, okay? This is an official correction. You got a correction in small caps. So to be fair, I 100% understand, like, a lot of these stocks are just getting crushed. I mean, look at half of the swings. Honestly, a little bit more than half the swings right now. I get it. But I don't know. It's, I feel like I'm not seeing a lot of risk management going on lately. Just looking around at different chats and Twitter and stuff. And I don't know, maybe I've stopped emphasizing about risk management in the past couple of months. Not because it's less important, just because we've been talking about so many different things. But for those of you who are here, when I first started streaming, like the first 4 or 5 months, that's when I was really just pounding on the table how important it was. And I think I might need to start doing that again. I just feel like a lot of people I'm seeing, especially in the FTM, are really starting to understand what all these technicals mean, which I'm very, very proud of. But I think what a lot of people are kind of maybe skipping over and not fully diving into before diving into the technicals is the risk management. Honestly, don't trade on technicals if you're not going to manage your risk. Don't do it. You're asking yourself to lose money if you're doing that, because you're pretty much putting yourself in a situation where you're using probabilities as certainties. Why are you using probabilities as certainties? You shouldn't be doing that. So that's one thing I really want to get across tonight, if there's one educational part of the stream, I guess. Technicals mean nothing at all if you're not managing your risk, because they all have probabilities where a certain percent of the time they're going to fail. And if that percent of the time when they fail, you're not managing your risk, all the times you made money when those technicals worked out don't matter. So I want to make sure that's very, very clear. And again, if you want to learn about risk management, the course, there's no shortcut. A lot of people always ask me questions about a lot of different parts of trading. And I always ask, have you watched my course? And most people say no. Take out the 6 hours to watch the course. 6 hours can help you out in trading for the rest of your life. It's not the course is not a cheat code, but it's going to help you 100%. I promise you it'll help you. There's going to be something in the course that will help you. Okay. So please watch the course. That's really where most of my talks about risk management are. And I'm going to try and start talking about it a little bit more on the streams, because I used to do that a lot, but I don't know, it's just everything's gotten crazy and the stream structure has changed a bit. You know, back in the day it was just I'd go live when we do tick requests and I talk about risk management, and I kind of be a lot more educational in that aspect. And now I think it's like, now I talk about crypto, the overall market, the ongoing swings, the day trades, and then we get to tick requests. So I want to make that point very clear. You need to start, you know, if you're seeing days where you're down, and again, whatever suits you, I guess, but whatever your risk tolerance is, there shouldn't be days where you're down 30 to 40%. I mean, if you're allowing yourself to have a 30 to 40% risk tolerance, then you shouldn't be complaining when you're down 30 to 40%, you know? So really, I think it's like, find a risk tolerance where you're not complaining when things aren't going well. And also, don't be greedy in the fact that you're overhyping yourself up when things are going so well. You got to try and have an equilibrium when it comes to your emotions. But seriously, a lot of smart people I'm seeing that fully understand the technicals just having large drops in their accounts because the 2 out of 10 times, 3 out of 10 times that certain technical patterns don't work can create those large drops. So what is risk management? What is that? Stop losses, position sizing, scaling, looking at overall market conditions, figuring out what allocation works best for you based on the volatility of stocks that are in your portfolio. So many different parts. I talk about all that in the course. It's there. You got to find it. Don't just go scrolling through the course looking for it. Just watch the whole course. But please, there's going to be times like this where I want to make sure all of you are keeping gains from times like this when times like this come. I want you to be keeping these gains when this happens. That's the whole entire point of risk management, okay? Because it's not going to be hard to make money when everything's going up. However, if you're not managing your risk, it's going to be very easy to lose money when things are going down. All right, so if that's one educational aspect of tonight's stream, there it is. But never, ever, ever, ever forget that, okay? I've had many hiccups with risk management where my ego got to me and I had huge positions, and they screwed me over, and you got to learn from it. It happens to everybody. Just keep trying to be better. All right, let me read this up in the chat. Let me skip this song. The guy says, stop the cap. Who sent Fisk your picture? I don't know. I think I did tweet that picture at them. When I just tweeted out in general and I just tagged them in it. Maybe they just got it from there. But I didn't like send it to them and ask them to like put on Instagram or anything. What's up, chat? Freeze. Yeah, make sure to join the Discord. Links in the description. Powell and Yellen, the duo, Batman and is it just Robin? Wait, is it Robin Hood? No, it is Robin Hood. No, and no, it's just Robin. I'm thinking Robin Hood because of the brokerage. Batman and Robin. I don't know. I can't think of that. I've only watched like the last 3 Batmans, so I don't know how many there are. Why so many wrenches? Gold Miner says that is true about risk management because a lot of people are telling themselves it's so oversold, it can't go lower, and it does, and then they average down. Nerve says vibes. I learned about risk management in Q1. I've also said this on stream before. I've said this many times on stream before. Where imagine if I was like a hedge fund manager and you put 2 new traders in front of me. One of them had the ability to make money consistently, had a pretty good ability to make money. The other one, they're not the best at making money and getting winning trades, but they don't have big losses ever. They're so good at managing risk. I'll pick the one that's good at managing risk. Why? Because when times are good, it's not going to be too hard to find ways to make money in the market. When times are bad, it's going to be a lot harder to find ways to not lose money if you're still in the market. And then another part of that, which I didn't even talk about, is knowing when to be, a little bit more in the market, when to kind of ease off a little bit. These are things that all of these institutions do. And you can see it literally publicly on their filings. and the waffle maker, yeah, you will lose money. Yeah, there's going to be times where you lose. A lot of people come into the market with things like GameStop and AMC expecting there to be 1,000% gains every single month. That's not how you're going to find longevity in the market. You know, going for those crazy amounts, you're gonna have to risk crazy amounts, and I don't know, there's just so many different parts to it. Cheddar Free says, I'm working on a weekend education on position sizing. Gotta find time to finish it. Awesome. Linda Glenn says, my new trading method, if I think a stock will go up, comma, buy puts. Kind of the opposite of what you should be doing. I don't know. If you're, for anybody here who's having, you know, a rough streak, I had a horrible day last Friday. Let me start off with that. Horrible day. One of my worst days ever last Friday. I haven't traded yesterday or today. I'm actually switching to a different broker, and I'm not going to say which one so I don't get hacked. But I'm switching my account right now. So I'm pretty much just not, I can't really trade this week. So what was I talking about before I even said that? Oh yeah, to anybody who's like going through a rough patch, whatever it is with trading, there's one thing I always say whenever it comes to rough patches: give yourself time. The thing that a lot of people do when things are not going well in trading is they try and rush those profits, or they try and recover those losses, like by making profits really, really quickly, right? So for an example, let's say you had $1,000 in your account, you lost 500, you lost half your account. What a lot of people try to do is they're like, all right, just lost half my account, I just need to get it back right away. Then they take their remaining 500, put into something like weekly lottos or whatever it is, trying to double their money right away, and then they blow their other 500, and then they're left with nothing. So the way I always look at it is like, you know, if you have a very quick, rough drop in your account, give yourself time to make it back, right? If you're trying to rush it, you're going to be risking whatever you have left after that rough drop. And the funny thing is, and this is only for me personally, of course, it could be different for everybody. It's like whenever I don't try and rush trades and try and make money quickly is when they all just come to me. Because then I'm not trying to because when I'm rushing to try and make money and I'm trying to just make profits quickly, I'm trading whatever it is. You know, I just find a stock that's out of support. Let me trade it. Maybe I can make some money. When I'm rushing, that's how I trade. However, when I'm not rushing into things and I'm giving myself time to recover after a rough losing streak, I'm only waiting for the good ones to come at that point, and I'm only trading the higher quality setups, right? So it allows you to stop compromising. And I don't know, it's just a weird thing I've noticed, where it's like the times when I'm not like forcing myself to get into trades because I want to make money quickly is the times when the good trades come to me. And also at the same time, it's like you can make more money in one really, really good trade than you could in like 5 okay winners. So yeah. We looked at fish, we looked at CLOV, we looked at everything very, very quickly. All right, so hopefully the end of the stream is a little bit educational. I'm gonna get out of here now. So it's gonna be a short stream in the beginning. Hopefully enjoy the stream. Join the Discord, links in the description. Subscribe, hit the like button. Watch the course, please watch the course, and have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Think of not trading as putting money in your pocket. Mark Douglas, disciplined trader. Gotta be patient. From Cheddar Freeze in the chat. I'll leave you all with that. Now I'm not gonna rap. I'm gonna stop. Bye.